Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good day. So today we will be moving to our next topic, which is functions. Okay, what is functions actually? Functions is actually a modular programming where you break a program into smaller and manageable functions or module. Function is actually a collection of statements to perform a task. When do you use function or you opt for modular programming when your aim is to improve the maintainability of programs and simplifies the process of writing programs. And also you want to eliminate redundancy in your program. So if you have one function that you keep doing uh, every time, then that function is suitable to be put in a function itself. Okay. So how does functions look like? So at the moment you are familiar with this kind of programming where you put all your statements, your instruction into one main program, the body program of the main program. Okay, so with functions you can have a few sub functions. Okay, by right this main function is also called is a function but it's the main function, so you can have other functions with specific purposes. So you can have, in this case we have three more functions on top of the main functions for to do to do something that is previously in just one function. Okay, main function. So this is an analogy of how functions look like. So in order to define functions, you need to have a function call. You need to know what is function call, what is function definition, what is function header, and what is prototype function. So function call is simply a statement that calls a function to be executed. So you call the function. Function definition is where the statements that make up a function where you describe what does the function do. Okay. So these definitions include return type, name, parameter list, and body. Okay, so let's look at this function definition. So as I mentioned earlier, your main function is actually a function by itself. So we can use the main function as an example here. You can see there are four important things in the in the function definition in this main function. Okay, so we have return type, we have function name, we have parameter list and function body. Okay, this function definition, this is the whole function definition, main function definition. So for this main function, this function, the name is main. Okay, and the return type is integer, which means that it's going to return a value to what's calling it. So in our main function the return is always 0 because we have no one is the main function. Okay, we are not called by anyone. But when you have a specific function, you will be called by the main function or you will be called by other function. Okay, so whatever is supposed to be done by the function is being written in statements inside the function body. And then if it needs to accept parameters, which means if there is something to be passed from the calling functions or calling main functions to the function, it will be stated here. Okay, so function return type must be there in the function heading. So there are different type of functions. You have return type of functions. You have functions returning a value. So a value could be integer, float, or anything. And functions that does not return a value, which is void function. So we are going to look at void function first. So in this case, let's try one void function. Okay, usually these void functions are for printing or displaying output, whether it's you in the file or in the screen. So today we are going to try on the screen. Okay. Alright, so I have my skeleton here and I have my main function here ready. So now let's try something about see out let's see out a set hello world the normal way. Okay, hello world, right, and line. Since we are going to try functions, we'll just put hello world from main here, and then okay, so we want to have a function, so we need to declare one function of void print hello. We are not giving any argument yet. Okay. So we are not going to return anything, so we don't have to put return. So what I will do here is I will see out hello world from function print hello. I forgot the quotient mark. So here and at the end there. Right, so n9. Let's see. Now we have our body function here. Void print hello. See out hello world from function print hello. So how do we call this function from main? We just simply call print hello. This is a function call. Okay, so this is a function definition, this is a function call. Let's run, haven't saved. Okay, so it seems it has no problem. So now I have hello from world from main, hello world from function print hello. Okay, so depend the output will come out depending where you call it. So this one I call after hello world from main. If I put it on top, then it will be hello from function print hello, then hello world from main. Okay, so you have seen how function works, how initially. Okay, so this is just a small part of it. Okay, so we have function definition and function call. Okay, and the return type that we are looking at now is void void of void, so we call it void functions. So remember, void function is always used for printing. So these functions, how it works, okay, when your compiler reads your source code, okay, when your function definition is on top of your main, okay, your compiler read from top to bottom. Okay, sharp. So it will see include IO stream, so it knows that it will need the preprocessor IO stream, and then it saws void print hello, then it knows that there's a function used. So this is the definition of the function, so it will detect the curly braces. So the function definition will be stored, and then you find the main function. Alright, so what happened is, when after the compilation is done and you run, the main function will work first. So it will see out hello world from main, and then it will come to this function call. When this function call is reached, so what happened is the control is being transferred from the main function to the print hello function. So it goes to print hello and see what does the function needs to do inside the body function. In this case, only one see out, which is hello world from function print hello. Once this has been outputted or see out, then it will go back, the control goes back to main, and it proceeds exactly at this print hello point, and it will then proceed to the next instruction, which is terminating the main. Okay, so then you will see, you have seen the output. That's how the flow control of functions. Okay, program 6.1 explain the same thing. Calling function, main can call any number of functions, and functions can also call other functions. But before you can allow these functions call to happen, the compiler needs to know name, return type, number of parameters, and data type of each parameters. Okay, so how does the compiler know? Because it reads from top to bottom. So if you put your body function here, your function definition here, so it knows that there's a function you existed in your program, and it will recognize this function and compile it and use it when the function call happen. So if let's say uh, you don't want to when you put function definition on top of your main, you need to scroll down to find your main. So if you have too many functions, then um, it will be a bit uh, uncomfortable. Okay, so it's better to put the function definition below, but when you put the function definition below, you will need function prototypes, because when you move this function below, let me move this function below, sorry, moving it to after main. Okay, your compiler will still read from uh, top to bottom. You'll see your function main first, and it stores a function called print hello, but it don't knows where does the function resides. So that is why you need to furnish your code with function prototypes. So function prototype is simply taking your void print hello, put it up there, and put a semicolon. Okay, this is simple for void functions. Later, when you see uh, other type of functions that is accepting parameters, is a bit more complicated, but it's simple actually, not that complicated. Okay, so now you have your prototype functions defined on top of your main function. So when the compiler reads, it will know that, oh, I see a prototype function there, then there should be a function definition somewhere below the main. So definitely it will compile, it will know where to look for these functions. It knows it's existent. Okay, so if you leave it blank up there, it doesn't know of the existence of this function and don't know how to look for it. So when you have this, and you have this function call, it knows that the function the function exists. It will go back, will go down to uh, to find it below main. Okay, if you don't have this, it will just simply return you undefined. Okay, let's try and see. Okay, this is with function prototype, so it's working fine. So let's say I didn't put the function prototype. Let's see what happened. We have compilation error, compile error. Print hello was not declared in the scope. Okay, so you see how the different having prototype functions and not having prototype functions. Okay, let's compile again, and there you go. Right. So program 6.5 shows you the same thing. So place prototype function near top of program, and program must include either prototype or full function definition before any call to the functions. Otherwise, compilation error. If you don't want to put prototype, you put the whole function definition up there before your main. When using prototype, can place function definition in any order in source file. So if you use function prototypes, then as long as it